Conservatives, they love fantasizing about jackbooted thugs from the government breaking down their doors, taking their guns, and taking their Christianity from them. I don't know. But we all in the real world know that the people who are actually being targeted by such governmental thugs are Black and brown people. And yes, we are talking about ICE. And this week, we are talking about them because federal officers entered Representative Jerrold Nadler's office in Lower Manhattan on Wednesday and handcuffed and briefly detained one of his aides. The episode was recorded by someone who was sitting in Mr. Nadler's office. In the video, an officer with the Federal Protective Service, part of the Department of Homeland Security, is shown demanding access to a private area inside the office. So there's already a lot going on there, but we do have video of that. So let's roll that before we go any further.
No, she did not. That is not what happened.
That is not what happened.
Okay.
What?
Hold on a second.
Give me your contact information right
No,
now.
I'm gonna give you time to speak to you.
Hey.
That's what I'm gonna do.
We got you.
No.
We got you. You're okay.
I don't have to.
You're okay. You're okay. You're gonna be okay.
I'm a federal officer. We're here checking on something. We have the right to check. I'm giving you.
I'm not resisting. Stop resisting.
You harboring rioters in the office. So there's not a problem. Let's walk inside. Let's walk through.
For what?
Let me see what's in here.
Oh, so it's your office?
Let's go. Come on.
All right, so if it wasn't super easy to tell what was said before they both went inside the door, he said, "You're harboring rioters in the office." That was a federal agent who said that to a member of Mr. Nadler's staff. There were no riots reported on Wednesday at the federal building on Varick Street. The protesters and immigrant rights advocates gathered inside and outside of the building earlier in the day. ICE agents ended up finding nobody and then releasing Nadler's aide. But now the question is, why were they there at all? Homeland Security statement on that. The agents entered Mr. Nadler's office because they had been told that protesters were there and were concerned for the safety of his staff members, according to a statement on Saturday from the Department of Homeland Security. Robert Gottheim, Nadler's chief of staff, has a different take. He said Mr. Nadler's chief of staff strongly disputed the Homeland Security Department's description of events. Instead, he said it appeared the agents were angry because members of the congressman's staff had seen the officers detaining migrants in the building, and because advocates who had also witnessed the detentions outside the courtroom had been invited by the staff members to Mr. Nadler's office. So from Representative Nadler himself, he said the Trump administration is trying to intimidate members of Congress. The Trump administration is really using totalitarian or even authoritarian practices. We have to fight them. We don't want to be a fascist country. Jayar, does this feel like intimidation to you or potentially incompetence? I wouldn't put either past this administration, but as far as intimidation goes, I mean, the girl was just standing there talking to the guy and he started yelling at her, "You're resisting, you're resisting."
Well, this is why there's terminology is always used in these situations by these types of folks. That's why fascists do things like this. So you call people rioters and terrorists in any kind of normal situations. When they were sweeping up people off the streets or taking people off of college campuses, and they called them all rioters and terrorists and all these types of folks, so that then anytime that they have this excuse, they'll use that same language and then walk into someone's office like Jerrold Nadler and they say, "You guys are harboring rioters." These same folks who had rioters on January 6th that he released all of, these same folks who had homegrown terrorists since forever, and they still disregard those actual labels for people who actually do violence and carry out violence against innocent folks. So they reserve these types of terms for the people that they're going to go and target and attack like this. And then they still use this excuse, well, we're looking out for the safety of the people in this office. If you're looking out for the safety of the people in Jerrold Nadler's office, why are you handcuffing and attempting to detain them if you're looking out to protect them from these rioters that have come in to harm them? Which one is it? Are they harboring rioters, or are you trying to protect them from rioters that ransacked the building and ran in because they're just out of control, bloodthirsty human beings who are probably illegals? It's all the same type of circular rhetoric to continue to keep people confused on what it is that's going on, why they're doing it, and how they're doing it. But the bottom line is, of course, it's the intimidation. And then making sure that other folks see this and know, yo, you better not pull off these types of illegal maneuvers or any kind of illegal actions or First Amendment rights where you speak out against things that this administration disagrees with. Because if you do, we'll call you a name and then we'll go do whatever we want. Because again, I've got the police behind me. I've got federal agents behind me. We've got ICE agents behind us. So when the enforcement comes, that's when the violence comes. It's triggered by these folks. Once they figure they have that control, they can call you whatever they want. That's fascism.
Yeah, absolutely. It's it's interesting what you were talking about because language is incredibly powerful, and the people who try to deny that are the same ones who love to, parrot catchphrases that they wrote on Truth Social. And these catchphrases and slogans have been kind of an emblem of the Trump years, right? Even from before he was president. It's something that Trump has always been great at, is coining these terms and catchphrases. Even before he was president, he had "you're fired." That was his thing. And the damage that they do is that they allow people to stop thinking about the things that they're actually saying and supporting. They're terms that are supposed to be full of nuance and understanding. But once you boil it all down, once you reduce it down to a catchphrase or a meme, all of that thoughtfulness just goes out the window. People can just start saying something, then they say, "Oh, you support all these things." They're not really thinking about all of the things that are behind this one little thing that they're saying. What does MAGA even mean anymore?